It was a little bit of a toss-up which video you were going to see first today, because I've got Danessa Myricks here, and Hourglass has new palettes. Well, the Danessa Myricks arrived first, so Danessa Myricks wins, which she should win anyway. She is a creative genius. I always say this about Danessa Myricks, and I have since we first started seeing her products so many years ago. So it is a delight today to be able to speak to you about her brand new Pastel Dream Freedom Mini palette for $48. And we're also going to talk a little bit today about the Chantecaille Rose de Mai collection. I've got a few of those limited edition and actually new pieces to talk to you about today as well. With me, Rebecca, on Not Fit for Print Beauty. I am a fashion and beauty editor who's worked with some of the biggest names in the industry for many decades, and it has allowed me the knowledge to bring Not Fit for Print Beauty here to YouTube, digital instead of print, so that you can have a sort of beauty magazine that you can flip through every day or so here on YouTube. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So Danessa Myricks did this really great Freedom palette last year around May, around Pride and such, and now she has her Pastel Dream Freedom Mini palette for $48. And this thing is already a hit. So a few things to know about it. Upon filming, I checked and it is available on her website, but it was sold out on Beautylish, sold out on Sephora, so it's a good one. It is in the packaging that we have seen new to Danessa Myricks, which is these amazing kind of magnetic, it comes off really easy for makeup artists or home use and clicks back on and is then interchangeable. All of these little pans come out and can be interchangeable. So you could do this with the all the other interchangeable sets. Danessa Myricks, the reason I talk about her genius so much is she really thinks, to use a cliche, she really thinks outside of the box, or I should say outside of the pan. And that's an old cliche, but that's why I put a new spin on it. She always comes up with new ways to do makeup and fun ways to do it. And these face palettes are just that. They might look like we have 6 eyeshadows here, but they can be used all over the face. And though any makeup could be used anywhere you want, it's just color. Sometimes we have FDA rules that apply to where pigments probably should or shouldn't go for irritation or staining, but these can be used all over, which is really nice. They are 6 pastels, so perfect for spring and summer in matte, metallic, and multi-chrome. And this is stackable, magnetic, works for all skin types, has what Danessa Myricks and her brand calls a finger forward application, which means you can use your hands. I love that. And that speaks to the creativity and artistry that is so apparent in the Danessa Myricks brand. It's definitely a brand where you're supposed to use your imagination, and there's a lot of playtime involved, which makes it really fun. All right, let's take this outside and take a look at these swatches in the warm California sunshine. And I'm going to walk from the sunshine, stay with me there in this little video, and then I'll take it into the shade so that you can kind of see how these shades play as well. The mattes are so saturated and so pretty, but totally wearable. And then of course you've got these multi-chrome and the metallic shades that we're going to play a little bit with today in terms of blush and highlighter as well. You could even put these on the lips. I won't be doing that today, but you certainly could. So look at those there. Okay, and then we're going to finish off today with the limited edition version of the Pure Rosewater Mist from Chantecaille. This is a fan favorite. It reawakens the skin, has a beautiful rose water fragrance to it, and we're going to spray afterwards with that. And I also wanted to talk to you in terms of the Rose de Mai collection from Chantecaille. There's an eye lift, a face cream, a lip balm, face oil, but I have really been having a lot of fun with the rose makeup remover. It doesn't have any sort of a scent in terms of a rose fragrance for makeup removal, but it just kind of uses those properties. It's a beautiful collection from Chantecaille with all sorts of skincare and lip care in it. And I use this now. I've been taking off my eye and face makeup with this, and it works wonders. Chantecaille sent it over in this lovely little collectible pouch, which I will lose if I don't hide it from my children. But we're going to use the limited edition Rosewater, Pure Rosewater Spritz little spray just to enliven the makeup when we finish. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on a look. I'm kind of excited to use this because you guys know I don't wear a lot of eyeshadow. And when I do, I play it very safe. So when I play with color, I really like to play with color. And I have some ideas going in of what I would like to do with this little palette. Now, just as an update for my base makeup, I've taken the Jones Road Beauty skin tint, the Just Enough that I reviewed the other day. And I'll put that review up at the end here. But I mixed it in with the new Natasha Denona High Gen Bronze. In the High Gen Bronze video, I used it as a primer and I used it over. This time I actually mixed it with the Jones Road and then applied it to the face. So it's become a fun little product to use. We're going to be working with brushes from rephr, and I do want everyone here to keep in mind that on Friday, May 16th, rephr is going to have their final savings throughout the store, and as they open up a new chapter, rephr has gotten 200,000 customers to respond and to give them feedback, and they're ready to move into their next level of production as scheduled. So they're going to have all sorts of the Shoto collection. 1 and 4 will be there for a limited time. The 10 out of 10 collection and the Complete Eye collection will be making their final appearance. And if you sign up for early access, you will have a free brush waiting for you in your cart, and you will save on everything site-wide, and that begins Friday, May 16th. I will have my link below, and I'll probably do a little short on Friday to remind you as well, but we will be working with those brushes today. All right, let's get into it here with our Pastel Dream Freedom Mini Palette from DANESSA MYRICKS. Let's do the cheeks first, shall we? I'm going to take a rephr number 4, and I'm going to go right here into this shade, actually. It's a little bit bronze. It's very soft, so it's breaking apart a little bit, but that nice kind of shell it's kept in really keeps it really safe. And I'm going to start by using that shade on my cheeks just to give it a little bit. It's kind of bronzy, but it really works on all skin tones. I'm dipping back in here. I'm just going to kind of put that on as a little bit of a highlight. I might probably use that on the eyes as a highlight as well, but I'll really overdo it so that you guys can see. I think if it were just me and I weren't putting it on for an audience as such, I would put it on a little bit less than that, but nothing wrong with glamming it up either. Then I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to go into this kind of purpley shade really here. Okay, at the top. I'm going to use that on the eyes too. First of all, I'm going to gently tap off my brush, and then I'm just going to apply a little bit. I don't really want purple cheeks so much. And of course, if you're on your own, you can combine this. If you want to stick to the brand, you can combine this with other DANESSA MYRICKS shades. You don't have to just stick with this palette, but I thought it would be a fun little challenge for this video, just to stick with the palette. And let's go with a little bit of a lilac or lavender blush. Why not? I won't overdo that one too much because, again, I don't want to look costumey. I just want to show you what you can do with this. So we got a lot of highlight and a little bit of cheek color, and I'm very, very happy with that. Okay, so a very pretty look. On the lips, I have some YSL and some Tom Ford, and everything will be down below, so you can kind of look at it and peruse it or shop it, and where I can, up here on YouTube Shopping. All right, let's get started using these rephr brushes in anticipation for the sale. And I'm going to start with a rephr number 16. This is a nice fluffy brush. I'm using a lot of my favorites in this video. And I'm going to take this shade right here, which I probably even could have bronzed with, to be honest with you. And I'm just going to put that into the crease. It's a nice matte shade. These are really soft, pigmented shades, but they're also quite buildable. Nothing ridiculous there. I overdid the kind of glitter on the face just for fun. But I'm going to get that right into the crease. That's a really nice matte crease shade. I could see myself pulling this out just for that shade, to be honest. Not very exciting, I know, but kind of a necessity for certain looks, right? Then I'm going to switch over here to a rephr number 3, and this is where I want to get interesting. I want to use this really kind of minty green shade as almost like a drop shadow. I don't really want that on my eyes. It feels a little too young for me. The team at Danessa Myricks would say to go for it anyway, but you know what I'm saying, just for every day. And I like to take these kind of what I would consider wilder palettes from an artist like Danessa Myricks and do a very wearable look with it. Just to show you, that not everything has to be over the top crazy. I love watching the makeup artists on YouTube do wild looks with it, but I don't necessarily think I would wear it that way, Okay. So let's just get this underneath the eye. I'm darkening that a little bit because these build beautifully. And I like that. I've got that little bit of color, but yet I don't feel like I have a rainbow onto the eye, right? Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of connect that in the corner. Now I'm going to switch. I'm trying to show a bunch of my favorite different brushes from rephr. And I'm going to bring in that purple shade that we used from the cheek color and just kind of put a little bit of it on the mobile lid. A very faint amount. I just want to kind of connect the look together with the cheeks. It's a little more concentrated than I applied it onto the cheeks, but there you go. And we have the Lancome Flutter Lengthening Mascara, the new one already on the eyes. I have reviewed that as well. Okay, now we're left with some of our glitter shades. I think I'm going to go into this one here. I'm sticking with that rephr number 14, and we're going to go into this lighter shade here and just right into the middle of the eye. There's a duochrome for you, and it will have a little bit of a shift to it. And then I'm going to run that onto the lid just a little bit, into the inner corner and onto the lid. So this is still, because I am striving to use so many of the shades, this is still going to be a funkier look than perhaps I would put together for a normal work day. But you could use these as a one and done shade too. There's only 6 shades here, and $48 for high-end beauty is actually quite good. I just put it on the inner corner, but you could do the whole mobile lid with this particular duochrome and it would be quite pretty. Okay, and last but not least, we're going to go into this deeper, darker duochrome, or actually, yes, I'm duochrome, it sure is, shade right there. Just get it into the outer corner just to connect where I did that kind of drop shadow underneath the eye. And so you can see the shift. Okay, like I said, a slightly wilder look for someone like me to do every day. If this were just me and I weren't doing this for you, I admit, probably tame it down a little bit unless I were going for like a night out. But that's the fun thing about Danessa Myricks, is you can be as creative or really as everyday as you want to be. For every day, I could even have done this shade right here, this matte shade that I did in the crease, and then that as a drop shadow. And nothing really else, like a lot of mascara, and play down everything else. You could really do anything you want with this. I could have done maybe this middle shade here, no drop shadow, and then that middle shade there just as a one and done with a lot of black mascara. You could be as creative and as silly and as fun, or really, frankly, as kind of everyday as you want to be with a palette like this. I think that's why it is causing quite the sensation. It's a very wearable pastel. And I am saying this as someone who generally avoids pastels. I usually don't like a white chalky based pastel. And these are nice because these have a lot of depth and they're sheer, but they build, and they're not that kind of chalky. Do you know what I mean? Like that white chalky pastel shades. And I think they're really, really fun and really pretty. Okay, let's take our Chantecaille, shall we? This is the Pure Rosewater. This is a product that is known and loved at Chantecaille, but it gets this little limited edition packaging for $88 from the Rose Demo collection. And I oversprayed it because it's actually quite warm here in Southern California, the Los Angeles area. So I really wanted it. I really wanted that nice cooling sensation. This is a beautiful mist if you haven't tried it before. You can always get it at Chantecaille, but it really comes in this really pretty limited edition packaging. Now, I did purchase the Danessa Myricks product, but Chantecaille was kind enough to send this and the makeup remover from the Rose Demo collection over to me, and I appreciate them very much for that. The makeup comes off with a dream with this. It is non-irritating. I have no issues with it. I just take it off, then I use a light cleanser afterwards, and it gets all of my makeup off, and it uses the power of rose water. It's really, really lovely. So I I suggest you check that out as well. Again, I will link the Danessa Myricks palette. At time of filming, it was available at her website. Beautylish and Sephora say that it is coming back. But it is a good one if you want to have fun with makeup, if you don't want to spend too much, and if you want some versatility. Not always fun, but also versatile. Remember, I said I would pull out this shade right here to use with other palettes as well. Plus, it's magnetic. The shades are interchangeable. I never have a bad thing to say about Danessa Myricks Beauty. I think it's a really fun, very innovative brand in a world where it feels like everything has been done already. Danessa Myricks always finds a way to still do it differently. So good for her and even better for us. Let me know what you guys think. You can check all these out, like I said, below or on YouTube Shopping. And you can also check me out over on Instagram, TikTok, Threads. Hey, you can join our Facebook group for free. All that info is down below. And right here on YouTube, we actually have a membership. It's $4.99 a month, but you get live every week with me, and we just have a lot of fun over there. We'd love to see you over there. Let me know your thoughts. It's not just about what I say. I do have those cool new interchangeable and curatable hourglass palettes coming up. That will probably be the next video, and we'll talk more about this rephr sale, but you can ask me any questions below. Make sure that you subscribe, like, and share, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.